Hello there. What is going on, everyone? We have so much to talk about. So very much to talk about. Adepticon has been going on this weekend, and I thought the big news at the end of Adepticon was going to be talking about maybe any big meta changes or different winning lists for X-Wing, Legion, Armada, or more likely to talk about the Shatterpoint impressions. Shatterpoint has been demoed, and there's like some more clarification on the rules. But no, the big news coming out of Adepticon is all the massive amount of news that is been revealed for games like X-Wing, Armada, Legion, and Shatterpoint. Naturally, Shatterpoint was going to have some news, but the other games wasn't so sure. You know, I think a lot of us expected like an Ewok. Like hey, let's dig a little deeper into the Ewoks. But no, a lot more than that. And not only Shatterpoint and Legion, but X-Wing got news. X-Wing got news, and Armada got news. I mean, not much, but some, you know, more than I think a lot of people expected, more than I expected. So, very, very cool. What's going on, JJ? I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for asking. Everybody in chat, how are you guys doing? We are, there was so much stuff. There was a lot. There was probably more Shatterpoint stuff than anything else, but I think Shatterpoint probably had the most, with Legion probably being a close second, X-Wing in third, and probably Armada in fourth. That is going to be super interesting. I can't wait to see. We have a lot to talk about. So I'm going to start, I'm going to kind of run through a lot of screen grabs from slides. I hope I got all of them. I may have missed some. I'm going to dig into each of these throughout the week and probably more detail and some speculation too. We're going to talk about, we'll elaborate a little bit more as these, as the week goes on. But I wanted to just I needed to talk about this right away because it's so much. I had to talk to somebody, so I'm going to talk to you guys. Nate Great says, you think Shatterpoint is going to have more fan base than Legion? Oh goodness. That's no. I'm gonna say no. I don't know. Maybe it's too early to tell. It could, and once you look at some of the things that they have announced, it could eventually. It could eventually. All right, so we're going to talk about these. There's a lot of stuff. We are going to also do some giveaways. So for you Legion players out there, we're going to be doing Force Push promos. These are going to be the French versions. I think I gave away most of my English versions. So I've got a bunch of French Force. You know what they do, right? You're just exhausted. You push somebody away. So these were from that first OP kit they did. So the Force Push with Anakin pushing away Asajj Ventress. We're gonna give those away. Also probably do one in our Discord. So if you're not already in Discord, if you're watching this and if you don't miss the live stream or if you don't catch the live stream right now, or don't worry about that, we'll give away one in Discord, and we'll also do a separate Patreon giveaway. And so if we break 100 streamers, I'll add another giveaway, and if we can break 300, I'll probably add another one beyond that too. So, Will, with what is your favorite fish, dude? Wow, how long have you been coming to my streams asking me that? It's been a long time. All right, so let's talk about. Let's just dive right in. So X-Wing. X-Wing they talked about first. They did kind of talk a little bit more about the new core sets that are coming out. We've already seen those. I did a video Friday morning of them being leaked, and then by Friday afternoon they had publicly announced them and done their official announcement anyway. So there wasn't much. I haven't made another video about that yet because standard loadouts. There's a lot to talk about with that. I don't want to dig too deep into it here. The big notable thing is standard loadouts are becoming more of a thing in X-Wing, and they're probably going to be a really big part of the game moving forward. I think that's something AMG is really embracing, is the standard loadouts, because that allows them to kind of build stuff kind of in the same way that they do stuff from Marvel Crisis Protocol and Shatterpoint, and just hey, here's how this ship, or here's how this, this configuration is going to be. Not going to be the only option, but the other notable thing with those is that there's no generics. Even for regular building, there's no generics. It's like, how long until generics are just completely outlawed? I don't know. I don't know what's going to go with that. But they did also talk about the other stuff that they had been hinting at. Reprints. The YT2400. Now, I haven't even compared this new one to the original YT2400 yet. Basically there's some changes here on the card. I have not even dug that deep into it yet. And I certainly planned to, and I'm like, oh, okay, and let me pull up the original one, compare it to this, see what's been changed, and kind of go from there, and it's like really kind of evaluate this. Don't have time for that, because as soon as they revealed the YT2400, then they're like, oh, by the way, TIE Bombers also coming. And like you would expect in a 2-pack, I don't think you'll ever again see a single small ship in a pack. It takes up too much shelf space. I think once they get past a lot of these reprints, you're going to see more squadron packs. I'm actually surprised they're doing TIE Bombers, because you can get the TIE Bombers in the squadron pack. I think the bigger the packs, the more easier it's going to be for retailers to have shelf space for these. You know, if you get like 4 or 5 ship packs and stuff like that in the future, that's going to be better. The more you can put into one box, the better it is for the long-term health of the game. And they're definitely continuing to do that with a 2-ship pack. Again, that's any small ships is always going to be 2 to a pack. So you're getting TIE Bombers. Of course, we already kind of knew TIE Bombers were coming because they're in that Imperial starter. The other big thing is they started off with X-Wing talking about, hey, guess what? This isn't going to be the last Worlds. We're starting the new season of Worlds in May, and that's going to kick off Store Championships. And so, like, Store Championships are coming back. This is exciting. This is something they kind of went away from for a while, and it used to be like, they used to have Store Championships, then regionals, and then like nationals and Worlds and things like that. And then that kind of went away under the end of FFG to just be like, grand championships. And they changed the terminology, but what was lost in that was that store-level championship and those store-level tournaments. And they're bringing those back with these store championship kits, which is a great way to get into a small tournament in your local area and get some promos, get some cool prize support, get some competition, get some alternate arts, and get some, a great day of gaming in, but also possibly win a Worlds invite, which is really, really cool. Now, it used to be that if you won a store championship, you would just get like a regional buy. So you kind of got like a regionals invite with that first round buy. But now both the store championship will have a Worlds invite, regional championships will have a Worlds invite. Let me go back a little bit. Regional championships is going to give you a better invite. As a matter of fact, they talk a little bit about the regionals giving you like a Worlds invite with like a certain number of buys. So like, again, pretty cool. You can go out to Worlds, don't have to worry about like losing your first match. Although in some cases you kind of want to play that first match, but also player fatigue is definitely a thing. So we're over 100 viewers, by the way. So I did say we would add another giveaway. So we are going to be doing a Force Push alternate art. It's a French language version, but we've got a couple of these we're going to give away. These are going to go on. We're going to be giving these out. Also going to be putting one in Discord after the stream is over, and we'll put one up on Patreon. So patrons have extra chances. But we're also going to do a Comsnet for Armada. For our Armada fans, we're getting to Armada too, by the way. So if you want to have a chance to win these, just stay tuned. I'll be announcing them throughout the stream. So yeah, we have some pretty cool stuff. The Children of Mandalore kit. This is another one of their organized play kits. It's going to have one of those little. It looks to me a little bit like the latest Armada kit where you're flying around trying to collect resources. In this case, you're flying around trying to collect Beskar, but also attack or defend shuttles. And there'll probably be some little fun things, on alternate art promos and stuff that you can get in here. And these are just fun little kits, optional. When you go into a store and you play, then you get to bring, you get basically everything to be able to play the scenario again. You get to take it home with you. So these are fun. I don't think there'll be a whole lot of new content in this, though. This is usually just a fun thing that the stores can do. But speaking of new content, they are definitely going full swing into the scenario packs with the Battle Over Endor scenario pack. We are getting some new stuff with this. Also, by the way, did I mention that they're doing mercs now? Like, Dash Rendar is going to be able to be played in both Rebels and in Scum and Villainy, and so is Lebo. So, you know, that's kind of cool. Dash is making the way to Scum. Yeah, but we're seeing a new version of Wedge Antilles in the Battle Over Endor pack. What else do we got? Oh, yeah, TIE Defenders are going to be showing up in here. What do they say? We're going to see TIE Defenders, the TIE Bombers, TIE Interceptors. I kind of expect to see a Lambda shuttle in this pack, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't. I think they would have probably mentioned that, but it would be pretty cool. I don't think the Lambda has been reprinted in a very, very long time, so I would like to see the Lambda get reprinted at one point. Also, talking about reprints, they did talk at length about how these are going to have some painting adjustments. Dallas Kemp worked with the folks who were, you know, the factories. So when you're buying these reprints, they should be a little bit more than just Chandler. Yeah, Brud. Yeah, dude, I know. I just called you Brud. I'm so hyped right now. I can't even form proper words in my mouth. Blood. I'm so flubbled. Anyway, yeah, very, very hyped right now. So the Battle Over Endor pack is coming, and going to be similar. And then they tease you with the gunboats. This is a little teaser. You know, they did say the gunboats were coming also, and these will probably be reprinted a little bit also. And this art there, they look different, right? Just a little bit, but yeah. So X-Wing's got a lot of stuff planned. New content, new card packs, new OP kits, Worlds kits, reprints, new starters. Pretty good amount of stuff for X-Wing, but still not like brand new ships. But X-Wing has so many ships, maybe it doesn't really need brand new ships, at least just yet. That may be coming someday. They're certainly putting some effort into developing X-Wing and keeping X-Wing supported, so that's really cool. And a lot of us probably weren't expecting Armada, but then they say, oh, now we're going to talk about Armada, and I'm like, whoa, folks, are you guys going to talk about Armada right now? Are you... Wait, you put Armada's name on a slide. You're actually going to talk about Armada. It's not like Mini Stravaganza when they're like, oh, and yet we also have that game. They actually talked about Armada. And it was funny, during this part of the stream, an ad on Twitch played, and so I missed like half of it. I had to go back and watch it again. Yes, they actually talked about Armada. Now, it wasn't a lot. Let's manage our expectations here. It was not a lot. But it's something, and that's cool. And I think you know, we keep showing love for Armada, and then maybe, you know, the future can change, because there's been multiple times now where my expectations have been changed. I thought they were totally done with Armada, and then on my interview with Will Schick, he confirmed Rapid Reinforcements 2. And then I think he also confirmed that with Ion Radio as well, because they're out there doing the Armada streams. And but so we start off, and we start talking about store championship kits, and you know, like, look, new Armada physical print. Armada's also getting tournament support. This is not. I was talking with Chandler and some other folks recently about, like, oh man, I wonder if a lot of people are afraid this is going to be the last Worlds for Armada, you know, and of course not. There's all new season for Armada. Armada will have Worlds next year, so a whole another year of Armada support, and better support than we've seen in a long time, because store championship kits, this is massive. Again, just like for X-Wing, this is a great way to be able to get a local tournament in, get some great competition, get some great prize support. And the fact that there's new store championships coming around means it's time to start dusting off those old competitive lists. And, you know, maybe you were just playing janky lists, and now it's time to get a little more serious. Oh, okay, let me pull out all the Architons and start practicing Conga Line again, because maybe it's time to play a little more Armada, a little more seriously. You know, so very fun stuff. And they gave us some previews of some of the things we're going to see. Flight Commander and Engineering Captain. And let's see, what else do we have? We've got new commanders for every faction. Now, Armada's definitely not dead. But at the same time, like I said, to temper your expectations, you know, Will Schick talking about everything. Now, granted, it's been a long weekend, but like, he didn't know what these were called, so they're new commanders for each faction, one new card. He's like, oh, one of them, you know, I think part of that is that he probably was just exhausted by the time, but also I don't think AMG puts that much effort into Armada, so it wouldn't surprise me, if they were, like, but people are putting these together, which is really cool. So you're going to be getting Leia, you're going to be getting Thrawn, Grievous, and Luminara as new commanders, which is really cool. There's also a Soontir Fel squadron, and then some of the ships as alternate ship prize support. Really, really liking this. This is all stuff, and this is all from the Store Championship kit. Is like I'm surprised. This is a lot of stuff from a Store Champs kit. I especially want the the new ships, the new Victory, the new Venator. I'm wondering if we're also going to see the new Gazanti and the new what's the other one? Gosh, anyway, if we're going to all see all of the Rapid Reinforcements ships and or cards in promo format, I would like to see that. So yeah, this is really, really cool. What is going on, everybody? We're almost at 200 viewers right now. That is so awesome. I'm so thrilled to be chatting with you guys right now. So much news, and I'm going to talk more about this throughout the week. We are still doing some giveaways right now. Our Legion folks are going to be getting Force Push in French. And our Armada folks, we've got some CommsNet promos we're going to be doing giveaways for. But yeah, and then also there is a Worlds. If you get that Worlds invite, it's going to be a larger, like a 3x6 or 4x6, and on the back of your Worlds invite, if you get one, is going to be that Executor 2 Superstar Destroyer card promo on the back, which is pretty cool. This way, you have a Worlds invite that's also a promo. So I kind of like that one. I think that's a really cool idea, and I like that they're doing cool stuff like that. How big do you think that Executor card? I think he said 4x6. I think so postcard size. Probably about the same size as the actual Executor cards. But yes. So this is exciting. This is really good. And what I love is I feel like AMG has taken some of my advice or other community advice, just advice from the community as a whole, not just me, but that they haven't just taken Rapid Reinforcements and slept on it this time and just surprised us with a single drop and never talked about it again. Let the hype build. Let the community kind of keep the hype going. It's a very easy thing to do if you are able to, and this is the way. And they're doing it because they teased it on interviews, and now they've teased it in a presentation. We have our first glimpse of Rapid Reinforcements 2 coming this summer. Very, very excited because I thought it was something that they hadn't even started working on yet. But not only do they have art, not only do they have card text and point costs and all of that stuff, but they also have, goodness gracious, they also have previews ready to show us. This is, so we're looking at, it looks like a Rebel Gauntlet. Looks like Governor Price as an officer and possibly a clone commander there at 29 points. New commanders is like my number one thing. If that's Anakin Skywalker, which it very well may be because we've got Rex there in the background. We can't really read much of that attack, but that cards. We can see something about friendly and something about attack. If it's friendly ships attacking or something like that, if it's basically an offensive card like I've been saying forever, I'm going to be thrilled. I'm going to be absolutely just floored. I'm going to be so thrilled. We're over 217 viewers. What's going on, everybody? Let me know where you're watching from. We are recapping all of the new Star Wars news from AMG's big live stream coming out of Adepticon. And that's a good... Chandler, you got an eagle eye on you. If you look at the background, that's certainly Wat Tambor in a Belbalub. This is something else I've been talking about. I definitely wanted to see a Belbalub ace, and I definitely wanted to see who can you do. I thought there's two people you could probably do. Wat Tambor being the first. He's already in there in X-Wing. It makes sense already. Part of me was thinking maybe we could do Asajj Ventress in there also. It'll be a little harder to swing, but it's a ship that biologicals can fly, so they still kind of need a Sith ace. They still kind of need adept squadrons for separatists to make certain cards work, but we don't have to have everything right away. Don't have to have it all right now. This is good. Belbelubs need to get flown again. Maybe Wat Tambor's the type of person to do it. By the way, I'm going to read a little farther into this in future videos, talking about, wait a second, if we're getting a Republic commander, maybe we're getting more than just a Republic commander. If we're getting an Imperial officer, maybe we're getting more officers too. Lots of really cool things. This is looking to expand on rapid reinforcements way more than the first one did. I'm thrilled, excited, and cannot wait. Rebel gauntlets? I mean, what? It's cool. It's really cool. All right. We'll talk more about this in a little bit. You can fly Grievous in a Belbelub, but then you lose out on flying Grievous as a commander. And Grievous in a Belbelub works better if you've got a lot of squadrons, you know, to like make his ability matter. But then at the same time, if you got a lot of squadrons, you probably want Grievous. But that would work great if we got Wat Tambor commander, right? Oh, we'll talk about that more in a Armada. Your dream is for Rapid Reinforcements 2 to come out before the Richmond Open. Well, they said this is coming this summer. This summer. I mean, it was April when Rapid Reinforcements 1 came out. So my guess is like June. I don't know. I mean, they're obviously pretty far along. So it's exciting. It's really exciting. I'm super thrilled. Super thrilled. Legion. We're going to talk Legion also. I know the Armada hype is real. It wasn't very much, but it was more than we expected. More than I expected, for sure. You know, but there was no sound of finality to it. He's like, look, I don't have much that I can show you right now, but I do have a little something. The whole, like, right now is like, well, maybe there's, all right, maybe they got other plans under the hood. You know, this was certainly farther along in development than we thought. So very, very cool. I love it. I love it. Let's go and talk about Legion. Legion's got a lot of news. We've got Ahsoka Tano. We've already seen the art. What? They gave us the unit card. Unit card looks really cool. So 165 points, 2 Force, 2 Training. Does not have Master of the Force. That's going to be an important part for her. She's got Charge. Good ability to have. She's got like Obi-Wan style lightsabers, right? She's got 2 of each color. So saber throw, maybe. But that'll only be 2 red and a black. Won't be great. Won't be great. So maybe not saber throw. Who knows? Speed 2, surge to crit for offense. This is a really good thing. She's got red defense dice. So she's going to be offensively, she's going to be, you know, a pretty solid Jedi, especially with training if you give her the ability to do an extra red when she's attacking. She's got Jar-Kai Mastery. Those dodge tokens going to give her the ability to upgrade her attack results. She has Defend 1, so she's going to get that free dodge. Deflect, of course. So she seems solid. She just seems like a solid Jedi for the Rebels at a decent price. 165 is not bad. You know, I kind of expected more dice on her saber attack, but again, we have to see her command cards. She makes up for the lack of dice with Surge to Crit. She definitely does. And then we get to see a little bit of Ewok unit cards. I barely have even looked at these because as soon as they put them out there, and I'm like, oh, cool, cool. There's more cool stuff. So all of this stuff, I haven't even had the chance to really dive into and dig into it. Wicket's cheap. He's a, I see an operator. No, he's a commander. He can go in the Rebels. He's also mercenary. He's got better melee attack than ranged attack. His ranged attack is just 1 black die. It's got Pierce 1, but it's primitive. I don't know what primitive means. It makes me think that it's going to be some kind of negative keyword, like maybe this attack you can't apply surge results to or something like that. He's got Scout 1, he's got Scouting Party 2. Rex had that. He can move some other folks with him. Sharpshooter 2, so even though he's got just the 1 black die, he's likely to, you know, cancel that heavy cover so he can get in there. Unhindered, low profile, and nimble. Okay, independent dodge 1. He might be a little hard to kill. He does have Surge to Crit and a defensive Surge, along with a white die. So, I mean, white die's not great, but he's got 3 training options. It's interesting. It doesn't look like a really super strong unit. It looks like he wants to get in there close and melee you with Pierce 1 and Surge to Crit. That's kind of cool. Like I say, a lot of it's going to depend on his command cards. You've got Low Gray there also, who has some kind of suppressive attack. Probably magic, right? Probably some kind of magical attack. We don't have much about... Does Wicket have 3 training slots while Maul has only 2? Yeah, I don't think we need to compare them directly, though. You know, a training slot, and you have to look a little bit more abstractly at this. Sacrificing, you know, like Wicket has the training slot in lieu of having like better weapon keywords. Like Wicket's also only 70 points. What is he going to do out there living on the forest moon of Endor before the rebels and the Empire showed up? He's probably been training all of his life in different things. Whereas Maul is also using the Force and, doing other stuff and then living as a spider for a lot of time and going, like, losing his mind. So, you have to be a little abstract about it. And then we got some command cards. I have not even looked into these very much yet. Right, like barely even looked into them. I wanna look into them a little bit more here, because there's some cool stuff in here. So Bright Village is gonna be the name of the new force, which is the Ewoks. You must nominate an Ewok commander for this one. The weapons of trooper units that have a face-up order token gain suppression and immobilize one. In this round, a friendly special forces unit performs an attack against a unit with a face-up order token. Shuffle that token back into its order pool. That one pip is doing a whole lot of stuff, locking people down, kicking out your plans. That's a cool attack. And it also activates 2 trooper units. So the Ewoks get some pretty cool command 1 pips. Log Traps is also a 1 pip. That's very interesting to me. It doesn't count as a 2 pip either. Okay, but it doesn't activate any units. This round, at the start of the activation phase, 1 Ewok trooper unit that contained an Ewok trooper miniature may make an attack. The attack limited below. Boom! 5 dice, 2 red, 3 black, 1 to 4 impact, 4 pierce 1. That's a massive, just surprising logs swinging in from out of nowhere. I love it. Hiding in Plain Sight is their 2 pip. It's what, 2 Ewok trooper units. You must nominate an Ewok commander unit. Units issued an order by this gain Inconspicuous this round. That's a cool card. Inconspicuous is really cool. I like it. They're just like the Ewoks are like, oh yeah, you can't attack us. Very cool. Buy this card. All right, that's a cool card. For the tribe, 3 pips, 3 troopers. You must nominate an Ewok commander. At the beginning of the activation phase, units issued an order by this card may recover this round Ewok troopers with a face-up order token gain Dauntless and Relentless. That's a good card. Their cards are pretty good. The units will probably be weak, but the cards probably complement that and make up for it. So some pretty cool stuff there. I'm digging it. All right, they also teased us with some artwork and before showing us, again, Return of the Jedi celebration this year, a lot of Return of the Jedi focused stuff. C-3PO is getting his own card. He looks cool. He looks very cool. He's only 40 points. He's a commander, though, which is very cool. Master Storyteller. Choose up to X friendly Ewok units at range 1, where X is the current round number. Each chosen unit gains 2 surge tokens. So the longer the game goes on, the more surge tokens he's giving out to Ewoks, which is really, really funny. I love it. It's going to be fun. He also has Compel for an Ewok Trooper and Infiltrate. Infiltrate is interesting. And then Divine Influence. While they are within range 1 of C-3PO, Ewok Trooper units gain Guardian to C-3PO. While using Guardian, they can cancel crits. So the Ewoks will not let anybody hurt C-3PO. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? I love it. I love it. We're almost at 300 viewers, by the way. If we break 300, we're going to do another, I'll add another giveaway to the pile, and I'm going to announce giveaway units here in just a second. Little shout out to today's sponsor, Luxury Playstyle. If you guys haven't already seen me talking about these awesome full metal tokens, I use them in my games. They are absolutely gorgeous. They're double-sided. They're just designer deluxe tokens. Really, really pretty. You owe it to yourself to head over to luxuryplaystyle.com and just check them out. If you decide you want to make a purchase there, you can use code CrabbokVIP and save 15% off of your purchase. They have tokens compatible with X-Wing, with Legion, even Magic the Gathering, and games like Arkham Horror, Keyforge, all kinds of great stuff. So head over to Luxury Playstyle, check them out. They make great prize support for tournaments, as well as maybe a gift for a Mother's Day, Father's Day. Tell your friends and family this would be a great gift for you, and don't forget to give them that code. All right, let's keep on trucking. C-3PO looks cool. And oh my gosh, Geonosians. I never thought this was going to happen. Alex Davey and Luke Eddy, when they first started talking about sub-factions in Legion, they said, oh yeah, we'd love to do things like Gungans and Geonosians. And then that never happened. They did completely different stuff. It was like a curveball. It was almost like they were teasing us, like, oh yeah, we'll do something like that, but look over here. And all of a sudden, Geonosians are actually coming. We're getting, they already have them in hand too. Like, what? How did they do that? How did they do that? We're getting folks like Poggle the Lesser and Sunfac. Geonosians will be their own battle force for the Separatists. It looks really, really good. It looks really good. This is awesome. This is I'm pretty impressed with this. And we're also getting Inquisitors. Oh my gosh! We're getting the 7th sister and the 5th brother for Star Wars Legion. They are going to have they're going to be operatives, but basically Wilczek kind of implied that they'll have some kind of ability where they can, if you take them both, they can fit into a single operative slot so that you can run them together without consuming all of your operative options. So yeah, I'm really, really impressed. Been waiting for these for a long time, especially with Ahsoka out right now. I really want Ahsoka to fight these two because she just shut them down in the show. And it's one of my favorite Star Wars moments was when Ahsoka just dominated. Didn't just beat them, but dominated them. Like she turned off their lightsabers with the Force. Like, no, you're not ready. You're not even ready to fight me. Go home. It was so great. If you want Grand Inquisitor news, stand by. There is some Grand Inquisitor stuff coming, but not necessarily what you're thinking. This is a pretty awesome drop. Lots of news. I'm really impressed. Really impressed with all of this news so far. If you guys are just joining us, lots of news came out of Atomic Mass Games from Adepticon. We're kind of recapping their announcement, their panel, and all of the new stuff that just came out. Lots of news. We started off talking about X-Wing. You can rewind if you want, or you can watch the whole thing over again after we're done. X-Wing news, lots of new X-Wing stuff. Armada news, lots of new Armada stuff. If we break 300, I'm going to throw another giveaway into the pile. Let's go ahead and do giveaways real quick. If you're a Legion player and you're interested in winning one of these force pushes, these are in French. Give me a hashtag force push in the chat right now. We'll pick somebody. And then in a little while, we have more giveaways. We have a CommsNet for Armada we're also going to do. If you don't win this one, make sure you jump into our Discord. Links are down in the video description below. I'd love to have you guys join our Discord. We have a family-friendly Discord. We like to keep it friendly, keep it PG-13. But we talk a lot about Star Wars gaming. Very positive place to be. And we have different channels for games like X-Wing, Legion, Armada, Shatterpoint. Probably gonna have to expand the Shatterpoint section a little bit here soon. We got a lot of folks. Very cool. Oh, and we broke 300. We have 301 viewers. We are gonna do a third giveaway before the end of the video. I'm gonna just grab a promo that's in front of me here. We're gonna go with a GR75 for Armada. This is a GR75. We're gonna give this one away. This is one of the older promos. I think this is a 2017 promo. GR75 Armada. This is one from Dino Drawing. The same promo, or the same ship has multiple promos with similar but not the same art. So if you're looking to complete your collection, here's one. This is from FFG 2017 kits. So that one will also be going out too. But yes, so lots of giveaways. So looking at all the hashtag force pushes for the force push giveaway. I'm going to announce that in just a second. Let's keep going with the Legion stuff. I'll announce that, and then we'll do the next giveaway. So yeah, Inquisitors coming for Legion. I like what they did on the lightsaber there, right? You see that it's got a little bit of. I like it, but at the same time, I'm kind of divided, and I want to hear some of your thoughts too, because it's weird. Let me know where you guys are watching from too. It's. Every Legion lightsaber is just a regular lightsaber. And then, I like the effect that they're doing on this, but it's the only one that's different. So it's okay, that's cool, but all the rest of them are the same. Even Fifth Brother is, just got a normal kind of, blade, yeah. Chandler says it'll be easy to shave off if you don't like it. That's fair. That's fair. Tim Bowles, not a fan of the effect. It can be, Deltex also says you can chop it off if needed. I think that's a fair point. I would actually love it if they gave 2 different blades too. If they could, if you could put that on the sprue, like if you could put like a regular blade and then an alternate blade, for people who want effects or don't. Maybe that's a good option to do in the future someday. I like the idea of the action, though. I like that AMG is always trying to kick it up a notch with their models. Like they're always trying to take their model and sculpting technology to the next level and do something even more dynamic and that stuff you haven't seen before. And I think that's what they're going for here. And so, so it's cool. I get that. I'm just not totally sold on it just yet, but that's okay. But yeah, so let's see. What the hell? That's not nice. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on. Legion's also getting store championship kits. Getting a lot of promos up in there. A lot of, I guess, promo condition cards too, which is interesting. Like battle cards, perhaps. It might be some errata that has been happened to those, so they may be just doing new versions of it with the new stuff. Oh man! And then they dropped this on us. So how many of you guys are Legion players and watching the Bad Batch right now? How many of you are watching the Bad Batch? This is pretty cool. No Gar, Will Gates. I think you spoke too soon. Here's your Gar right here. I also, by the way, for everybody asking about Gar, I really think that we're going to, at some point, probably next year, I think we're going to see Gungans. I think we've got to see Gungans. I feel like AMG would love to do Gungans. And I will stand up on my soapbox and applaud, like with 2 hands. Well, I don't know. You can't really applaud with 1 hand, can you? Yeah, I would love to see Gungans. I want to create the Battle of Naboo. But the thing is, I want them to do Gungans right. Like, I want Gungans with the shields and the Boombas, and then I want, like, the big dinosaur with the shield. Like, you've got to have the big dinosaur, right? You've got to have a heavy. You can totally do a heavy and like, yes, come on, baby, make it happen. Anyway, and yes, when I was younger, I had my criticism of Jar Jar Binks and the Gungans and all that stuff. But as I've grown, I was like, they were pretty fierce. That and the idea of painting a whole Gungan army and basing them and setting them all up. Oh my gosh, I want to do that so bad. I have wanted to do that forever. So yeah, they need to do more actual clones before Gungans. Hey, no problem. No problem. I got you right here. More clones. The Bad Batch is coming for Star Wars Legion. They are due, and there's probably going to be more stuff. Like, if you look at some of the, we're going to talk Shatterpoint after this too, because I think it's important to think about the stuff that they're doing with Shatterpoint is also probably telling for some of the things you may see in Legion as well, and vice versa. There's always crossover. But dude, Bad Batch looks awesome. They look great. And dude, Omega's there. They did Omega also. So this isn't just Bad Batch from Season 7 Clone Wars. This is Bad Batch from the Bad Batch show. Obviously, these sculpts could not have been based on Bad Batch Season 2 just yet, as that stuff hasn't even come out yet. But when we did learn that Lucasfilm has been talking to them and giving them some early looks at certain things. So we're going to see some stuff that's from some more recent Disney Plus stuff. That's coming up too. So, yeah. Did they say this was for Rebels and Republic? I may have missed that part, but yeah, Republic is getting this. I feel like there's more spoilers. They're going to be doing some stuff on May the 4th. This isn't like the only news you're going to get for this year. I don't want people to worry if you didn't see a spoiler for your favorite faction, or if you were looking for something that didn't show up yet. Like, I'm sure they'll do Mace Windu for this game eventually. It's probably being worked on right now. It probably is, pretty far along the process. I would just guess that Mace Windu is somebody you gotta do in Legion. I would guess that like Wolfpack, Wolf, and are people that you've gotta do in Legion. So I'm sure that stuff is going to come. They're popular enough that it's not scraping of the bottom of the barrel to get them in Legion. So be patient. Unfortunately, patience is something you're going to need to have, but I'm sure it's coming. All right, we're gonna do a pick the winner. We're gonna pick the winner for that French Force push. Let me scroll up a little bit, and I'm going to pick at random, and that is going to be Iron Gaming. Congratulations, Iron Gaming. Go ahead and shoot me an email, mail Crabbok, M-A-I-L, Crabbok at gmail.com. Please give me your shipping information, including like name and address and stuff, everything that would go on an envelope, so I can mail this out to you. If you did not win, don't worry. Another copy of this will also end up on Patreon for patrons, and it'll also end up in Discord in the giveaways channel. We're going to do that there as well. For right now, if you didn't win that, also if you're an Armada player and you want to win a Commsnet, give me a hashtag Commsnet in the chat, and we will get that going. I'm going to take questions a little bit more here in just a moment also, but there's so much more stuff to go through. So much more stuff. It's just such a great day. So much really cool news. All right, Shatterpoint. Shatterpoint has a lot of news. They started running through all the photos. I'm going to have a lot to talk about with Shatterpoint. The gameplay happened. I watched like AMG's official demo. There was a lot of video demos out there. The gameplay looks better than I had thought. It looks interesting. I've got, there's certain things that I'm not like totally sold on it, but at the same time, it's cool. Like you kind of can't really table your opponent. It looks like it's going to be pretty hard to do that. You can't really it's much harder to kill enemy minis that they're off the table. But you can at least kill them once, and then now they're kind of defeated, but they still get to stay on the table, and you still get to move them around and use them. But it's kind of like, hey, I killed you and I'm winning, but you still get to play with your toys, right? So I get that, and I can see why they did that, but I'm curious how that's going to feel once you've been playing it for a little while. I still definitely want to check this out and get it on the tabletop and play it, but I'm curious how that's going to be. But we got to see the way actual combat works. Rolling some dice. Some characters can roll 7, 8 dice even. And what happens if you get 7 or 8 hits through when you only have so many hits on your chart, on your stance chart, and excess damage is just gone. So you're only going to do so much damage, but you can very easily take certain weaker characters and have them wounded after just a 1 or 2 attacks. So maybe it is going to be possible to table somebody. I'm not sure. It'll be really interesting, and that'll be a fun goal of mine, because I may play some games where I'm just not even trying to win, and I'm just trying to see if I can table you. It'll be interesting. And it does. I mean, you say it's not like MCP at all. I feel like if you play MCP and you played this, and you'd be like, yeah, it's not like it at all. But if you were an outsider coming in, you'd be like, okay, well, those two obviously have a lot in common. They have differences of rule set, but they have a lot in common. So that's what I'm, that's kind of where I would go with that. All right, so let's talk about the new stuff coming from Shatterpoint. We've already seen the core set. We already know some of the first couple of expansions that are coming. Luminara with Clone Commandos, Grievous, Dooku, Obi-Wan, cool stuff like that. They are, and if you've seen the cards, like Asajj Ventress's card, she's Dathomirian, right? Well, Dathomirian's they're getting a box coming, and you're getting Mother Talzin, you're getting Night Sisters, and you are getting Savage Opress. Now, I mentioned how many of you, want Savage Opress and Legion, right? It's like, when you see stuff here, it's like, hey, now they've been sculpting it, playing around with design space. Now this can potentially also show up in Legion, right, and vice versa. So this is a pretty cool. This is a pretty cool expansion. I think she looks great. I am definitely looking forward to Mother Talzin, and I feel like it's probably easier to do Mother Talzin in this game than in Legion right now, because you don't have to worry about faction identity as much. You're just more like timeline identity. You see, she's kind of in between, right? She's not exactly allied with the CIS. Certainly, she's closer to CIS than to the Republic, but she's got no love for Dooku. They were okay at the beginning, but I mean, he kind of went through there and torched that whole place. So, it's nice to see them kind of standing out on their own, or being able to mix with whoever you want. You can kind of build your force to be thematic here. I'm like, all right, maybe I want Dooku to team up with them, because I'm playing like early when they were still, nicey. Or maybe I want Asajj Ventress and Mother Talzin and Maul or something like that. Like to do, well, you wouldn't be able to do all three of those, but it's some really cool options. And I love having Savage there because it looks like he's the number 2. So you could probably pair him with Maul, which is really cool. Or him with Asajj, like some very cool stuff. So I like it. It's a good natural fit. They teased Mace Windu. We had already seen that. That was already teased. And so Mace is going to be coming with pawns and some of his clones as well. So that's cool. Let's see. And we already know that Mace Windu will have an ability called Shatterpoint. Don't know exactly what it's going to do yet, but hopefully it kind of removes somebody's defenses or something like that. Nicholas is saying, is there anything about Armada? Yes, we did talk about Armada quite a bit. So just a quick timeline. We start off talking about just the convention as a whole. Armada was the first section. Then we talked about, X-Wing was the first section. Armada was the second section. Legion was the third section. And Shatterpoint here is the fourth section. I might be able to, once this is over, go back and put timestamps on everything. All right, I'm going to pick a winner for the CommsNet giveaway. That's going to be Luke Mayhew. Luke Mayhew, you just won the CommsNet. So congratulations. Shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com. Tell me what you've won, so I don't accidentally send you the wrong thing, because I'm giving away lots of different stuff today. And then make sure you also give me your full shipping information so I can get this on its way out to you. Okay. We are still also doing another giveaway for a GR75 promo for Star Wars Armada, so check on that. All right, so in addition, we kind of had Cad Bane confirmed on the Will Schick interview from a few weeks ago, but we get a look. We see Aura Singh there, and we've got a Chadra fan and a Deveronian, as well as the little droid. Cad Bane's little droid is like on the same base there. So we get a whole little bounty hunter crew here, and by the way, that's a really nice sculpt for Cad Bane. I mean, they all look good, but Cad Bane's is like, dude, he's like tipping his hat right there. Like, dude, he looks really good. He looks really good. Like, this preview is probably, like, this weekend is probably the weekend that probably converted a lot of people who were on the fence on Shatterpoint. I really think so. I think it's really cool. Let's see. You missed the Chewbacca ATST for Legion next to C3PO. Let me go back. Let's go back and I'm gonna jump back into this. Yeah. It was there, and I think there's so much to talk about that I did kind of skip right past it. Yes. So going back to Legion, I'm going back through all these slides. There's also Chewbacca in an ATST. We didn't get to see much of that unit card, though. We missed an awful lot on it. I'm guessing it's probably basically an ATST with like Inspire 1 or something like that, right? That's kind of my guess. I'm curious if you'll be able to take Han Solo in the Ewok Battle Force or anything like that. I don't know. I'm curious how it's all going to work out. It looks cool, though. More previews on that will probably be coming soon. All right, let's get back to where we were. We were Mace Windu. We were talking about the bounty hunters. Let's talk about our buddy Plo Koon. Plo Koon is coming. So many really cool Jedi. This is also another one I really wanted to see in Legion. Again, can totally show up in Legion. Easier time getting a lot of Jedi into Shatterpoint because it's more of a hero battle game. You know that Padawan Ahsoka Tano is coming. If you pre-order Shatterpoint and you're lucky, you might be able to get that. So that is definitely a thing. But there's a lot about this pack, but if you don't pre-order her, this is the pack that she's coming in, so you'll be able to get her. Again, same thing. If you just want to get her early, that's just a little bonus for pre-ordering. So you're going to have Plo Koon here. He's going to have Ahsoka. He's also going to have Wolf and the Wolf pack. So that's pretty cool. But what also is interesting about this is there's 5 minis in this box. Did you notice that? Instead of just the normal 4, you're going to have choices here. It's like, oh, here's a pre-built squad, but do I want Plo Koon and Wolf and the Wolf pack? Or do I want Plo Koon and Ahsoka and the Wolf pack, right? Or do I want to take Ahsoka and put her with someone else? So I like what they're doing here. This is pretty cool. This is fun. Again, this is not Legion. This is Shatterpoint. But Republic Ahsoka will almost certainly be coming. I have a feeling they're going to wait to release her until after Shatterpoint comes out. Because I think they want part of the draw of Shatterpoint to be for those Ahsoka lovers. That like, hey, here's your first time to get Ahsoka in the Republic. Is for Shatterpoint. I think Legion will definitely get it after that. 100%, I would say. I mean, they've already confirmed that they're doing her for Republic, but as far as like when we're going to see it spoiled, I think it'll probably be later in this year. Maybe even after, maybe around fall, like Q3, I would guess. I'm going to guess Q3 we're going to see Ahsoka for the Republic spoiled. Speaking of fans of Ahsoka and fans of other important female characters, this one is actually really cool. So I read one of the first books of like Padme, like the Queen's Guard or something like that. Wasn't my favorite book, but it does shine a light on like the inner workings of not just the handmaidens, but also like the bodyguard function and the training and stuff of everything that went on with like the Naboo royal security. And so like so like when I saw this, I was like, okay, I can see what they're doing here. But these models are fire. They look so good, and they're painted extremely well, too. But, like, you got those giant beads at the bottom of Padme's dress. That's, like, how many people from when you saw Episode 1, when you saw that trailer, this was one of your first, like, that dress, she's standing there staring out the window or whatever, saying, and you hear the voiceover, I will not condone a course of action that will lead our people to war, or whatever. Like, that's that dress. It's very iconic. And then you've also got the body double, the bodyguard, and the two handmaidens. Dude, they look awesome. These are tremendous looking models. It's painted extremely well. And what I think is really cool about this is here's a color scheme that you don't see in a lot of Star Wars tabletop games, the red and the yellow like this. So like especially amongst an army of clones, like here's some stuff that's going to really stand out. And I think that that's pretty cool. So I like this. I like this whole team here. It's going to be pretty interesting. Let's see how they look and how they play in the game, but it's going to be a fun ones to paint because you're going to be pulling out different colors of paint out of your thing. That's like, man, I haven't shaken this bottle up and I haven't done this red and these yellows in a while, so this is going to be pretty cool. Yeah, decoy. I'm sure there'll be some kind of decoy functionality. Like, are you shooting me? No, actually, you're shooting me. Yeah, that was. In this pack, do you think that the Padme handmaiden will be the commander? Wouldn't that be funny? I don't think they'll actually do that, but that like they'll have something that reflects that, I'm sure. Jay Dorfer, you can't do this to me. You're getting me hyped for Shatterpoint. Dude, I know, like, I'm hyped for all Star Wars games. I already have a certain level of hype. But this, and we're not even at the best stuff yet. We're not even there. I mean, this is cool. This is one of the better ones for sure. Mace Windu looks awesome too, by the way. Let me go back. I want to show you that again. I mean, these all look great. Plo Koon looks good, but Mace, Cad Bane looks awesome, but Mace there, I love that. I love this. This is very animated, almost like Tartakovsky Mace Windu right there, right? Dude, that's awesome. These are really good looking minis, right? They're gonna be so much fun to paint and assemble. My biggest question with all these is like, do I leave them with the bases they have since they have fancy bases, or do I rebase them all? I don't know. Do I still play Legion? Oh yeah, check my social media. I was supposed to have a game like 2 days ago. It got kind of last minute canceled, but I set up and I posted a whole bunch of screenshots from like the pre-game stuff. I just haven't played a whole lot of Legion lately. Sorry, so these are looking good. Dude, we've got more. We've got more. You know that they've talked about eras. They've talked about eras. Like, they have talked about that, the Clone Wars is just an era. There are other eras. And in an article they hinted that, hey, well, you couldn't, for example, mix Darth Vader and Ahsoka in the same team or in the same squad, but they could be in the same strike force. And you're like, wait, why are you talking about Darth Vader? It is, well, so it's been soft confirmed, and I talked about it with Will Schick in our interview at length about eras, so if you want to get more kind of just casual discussion about their philosophy on eras and things like that, again, really good interview. He talks a lot about the philosophy that went into this and everything that they're thinking about. It really helps. But we've got Vader and Luke. the game is going. We don't have a timeline on this, but it is going into the Galactic Civil War. And gosh, there's more than this. Dude, Vader and Stormtroopers. Oh, it looks really, really good. This is going to be one pack. His cloak, too, dude. Look at that billowing cloak behind him. It's incredible. He looks so good. He looks really good. And it's a different Vader sculpt than anything that we've seen from Asmodee before, too. So I really like that. Stormtroopers look good, too. I mean, it's kind of hard to screw Stormtroopers up. But Stormtroopers are definitely also fun. And then Luke, I look at this pack, you guys. Return of the Jedi, Luke. This is a Return of the Jedi pack bonanza, and I am here for it. I absolutely love everything about this pack. For one, oh, I'm speechless, kind of. I'm not gonna let myself be speechless. I'm live. I gotta talk right now. Oh my gosh, this is so incredible. Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight looks good. He's like here. I think as you spin him around too, you're gonna see different poses from different angles, and he's gonna look different. Because like the angling on that one could be a little better because it's almost covering up his face a little bit. But I know the exact pose they're going for, and so that's gonna be a great one to photograph as well. But because like, hey, go back, right? You see right there? That's what you're getting, right? So keep that in mind. But dude, Lando, Leia in Bouche disguise, and R2 serving drinks. Oh my! Dude, I gotta do it. Oh my gosh, it's mini crab. It's mini crab time. Oh yeah, baby. I gotta catch my breath. Oh, this is too much. It's so good. All right. Yeah. All right. So let me. Yeah, they're showing off their modeling experience now for sure. This is epic. This looks really cool. I'm going to tell you what I love about this. Because they typically release these as a whole squad pack. So you don't have to run only these, although for Rebels you may not have much else. You're going to have no generics here, right? Like that's what I've wanted forever. Like, I don't want to have to run generics. I'm not a big fan of the nameless. Like, I really want to run all heroes. Even if they're weaker heroes, like R2-D2 probably won't be, like, super strong. Dude, I've got Luke, Leia, and Bouche disguise. That was my first Star Wars action figure, was Leia in her Bouche disguise. I love that one. I remember getting her and thinking it was so cool because the helmet came on and off. And I was like, oh, she's surprising you. You know, Lando in the skiff guard disguise, very cool. How many? I named my son Lando. I love Lando, and he is criminally underrepresented in our games. Like he's always like one of the in wave 15 of a Star Wars game when he should be in like wave 1 or 2. He's an incredibly important character. Here he is coming out in the same pack as Luke Skywalker, dude. Hell yes. I'm sorry if I have not missed or if I've missed some of the questions. I'm kind of going back and forth between the hype and the questions. Let me see here. So yeah, I see a couple of people are really kind of liking this stuff. And again, I'm not being paid by AMG to promote this. This is really cool. Like I was still in favor of things. I was a little on the fence when they first announced this game because it didn't seem. The timing seems a little weird that it was, hey, you've got Legion and you're making this other game that's similar. But as the gameplay has come out, I can see that its differences. There's still going to be some overlap with Legion for sure because these minis are going to be bigger, but they're going to be on a similar scale. But when you'll be able to use the same terrain for both. I'm actually going to be doing a video on terrain, like what Legion terrain would work well in Shatterpoint and so on and so forth. Logic says the game is overpriced. I see why you might think that because the core set is a little on the expensive side, being $165. Did I mention we are doing a giveaway right now for a Shatterpoint core set? I mean, I mentioned it in my other videos. I didn't mention it at the start of this video. We are doing a massive giveaway for a Shatterpoint core set All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment on one of my videos. It's as simple as that. And that's going to run until Shatterpoint comes out, and it's going to be in the form of a $165 Amazon gift card. So you can get your Shatterpoint core set for free that way, or you can spend it on whatever other game you play too. You can. I'm not going to audit what you spend the gift card on, but yeah, we're doing that right now. So make sure you're subscribed, like the video, share the video. Do all that good stuff. But yeah, this is just so exciting to me. Return of the Jedi has always been my favorite Star Wars movie. It was the first Star Wars movie I remember seeing. It came out in '83, and so it was like the newest Star Wars movie when I was young but old enough to like have memories and stuff like that. It's great. I really love Return of the Jedi, despite it, the Ewoks or whatever. I loved them. I didn't care. But the Battle of Endor, still one of the best space battles of all time. So yeah, this is firing on all cylinders for me. Luke and Leia and Lando. Luke, Leia, Lando is the L pack, right? And then R2D2 serving drinks, which is hilarious. I love it. I'm sure he'll have some kind of incognito, like, you can't actually attack the bartender. You don't attack the bartender. And it's just a great mini. Oh, it's so cool. So cool. What's my favorite faction? Well, Shatterpoint doesn't actually have factions, so you can just build whatever you want. For most of my games, though, Empire is my favorite faction. They just have some of the coolest looking stuff on the tabletop. So that tends to work out. But we're not done yet. We're not done. Speaking of Return of the Jedi, Ewoks also announced for Shatterpoint. They're getting a bunch of stuff, and this is another one of those 5-packs, right? I love that, a 5-pack of Ewoks. Okay, Ewoks aren't my favorite. Like, I don't have to. This isn't a must-have for me, but it certainly works, especially with like Jedi Luke and some of that other stuff. It definitely works. Now, somebody in chat earlier was talking about the Grand Inquisitor. Look at this pack, folks. Look at this pack. Okay, this is incredible. So one of the things they talked about here, by the way, in the lack of generics, throughout all of the stuff we've seen up to this point for Shatterpoint, you have your leader, you have your primary, and you have your secondary, and then you have your support. There's 3 parts of a unit. The supports have all been like 2 miniatures, like, so 2 clone troopers is your 1 support, or 2 units of B1 battle droids, or 2 characters of B1 battle droids is your 1 support. In this wave is the first time you're going to see single miniature supports. So things like, you're going to have your Grand Inquisitor, and I think Reva is the one, and then or at least the one in the back looks like Reva. I think they said 4th Sister is one of these. I have to look up all the names and see who exactly is who and everything. But 5th Brother is one. Basically you're going to have your choice of which support you want to do. And it's going to be a 1. It's going to be a 1 Inquisitor as opposed to like an unnamed generic Inquisitor, which is really, really cool. Again, fits into my perfect kind of build strategy of like, I don't want generics. So, there's a path for me to not have to have generics. I love that. It's funny how I feel that way on that, but then I look in X-Wing. X-Wing's the game that I do want generics. It's just very strange to me, But yeah, and then potentially if I run Darth Vader in my other squad, because if you guys aren't that familiar with Shatterpoint and its squad building, you're going to have 2 squads makes up your strike team. And so this would be like half of your build, or at least 3 of these. And so your other half could be from a different era, but it can be whatever. So I could run like Vader and a Stormtrooper captain, and then maybe another Inquisitor, and have like a mostly Sith build. Like, that would be really cool too. Has the scale been confirmed? They did a while back. I want to say 35 millimeter, 38 millimeter. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's about there. It's a little bigger than Legion. Kind of, I think, similar to Marvel Crisis Protocol. There's also a lot of videos of gameplay. AMG streamed one where you can see hands on the minis, and you get a really good idea of the scale. Kay asks me, do you prefer X-Wing or Legion? Legion I prefer. X-Wing has gotten more and more confusing to me over the years with all the additions and significant rule changes. Legions had some recently. They're not too bad. But the longer you play a game, and then when it gets an overhaul of the rules, it can be taxing, because you have all these old rules in your head. And we're not done with the Shatterpoint news, by the way. There's so many more. Any sequel product news? Sequel trilogy? Not yet. That did not come yet. We're getting that way. We're moving there. Iden Versio, kind of tiptoeing towards there. They said all of the rest of Inferno Squad will be with her. I really hope that means that we will see Sane Marana also. I would very much like to see Sane Marana show up in here. She was the 4th member of Inferno Squad. You do not really see her in Legion. Well, she's the kind of the unnamed one. She's kind of like the generic. But she was in the book, and so she's important. That's all I'm going to say about it. I don't want to spoil anything. All right, let's see. You can't believe Shatterpoint got Republic Commandos before Legion. Yeah, but they'll still get them. They will. I mean, those will definitely show up for Legion, right? Do you think Republic in Legion is trash? No, I think the people who are saying Republic and Legion is trash are the people that are playing at a really high competitive level. In any of these games where people play them very competitively, something being like 99% as good as something else is a huge difference. If something is almost as good but not quite as good, then the other thing will get taken 10 times out of 10 at a certain level of competitiveness. And so I feel like Republic is like at that level. They can do really, really well against like a Blizzard Force list, but might not just be able to creep out the win. And as a result, the results make it look like, oh, Blizzard Force Empire is like dominating the meta and stuff like that, and so everything else is crap, So, and it doesn't mean that Republic is actually crap. It just means that they need just a little bit of help. So they're almost there. And that's kind of how I feel. I prefer to look at the bright side of the Republic in that they have a lot of good things going for them. They just need a little help. Cody will help, but they need a little more than that. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, if it only wins 49.5% of its games. Exactly. We got another Han Solo coming. Very much episode 4 looking Han Solo. He's got the vest on there, and he's got his kind of foot on looks like maybe a stormtrooper helmet or maybe just a ship part. Some of these are still in concept, so we haven't seen all of them. By the way, my favorite stuff is still I want to say my kind of favorite stuff is coming. There's the last reveal is my favorite one of the whole day. Well, I don't know. I love the Luke Skywalker and Leia. My second favorite. Maybe my favorite. Oh my god. I'm so excited. Okay. They showed us Din Djarin and Grogu. Definitely Mandalorian stuff is coming. He said Mando will be coming with the whole crew. They actually talked about this was the first guy that they did. So, yeah. I'm going to go back. I'll put timestamps because if you guys are just tuning in, I did talk about X-Wing. We talked about Armada. We talked about Legion. And we talked about Shatterpoint. Jabba in Shatterpoint? That could happen. Yeah, that could happen. That would be interesting. And I would love to see that. I would very much love to see Hutts. Hutts from Book of Boba Fett has a lot of characters that I would very much like to see in Legion. More so in Legion, but also in Shatterpoint. Yeah, the Hutts getting carried around on the litter. Oh my gosh. Anything new for Imperial Assault? No, but I want to talk about Imperial Assault in a little bit because there's a new game for Star Trek that's coming out that reminds me of Imperial Assault. And I think it might scratch that itch a little bit. But I'll come back to that in a little bit. And this. Oh, I'm so excited. Star Wars Rebels crew, the Ghost crew. Dude, it's time for another mini crab. Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, they're still in concept art. This is gonna be a while. Dude, that's what I wanted for so long. I wanted these guys in Legion. Really. They do. I mean, they have part of it, like a soap. Okay, let me turn off mini crab now. Hold on. Okay, so we've got Chopper, Zeb, Hera, Space Mom herself, Kanan, Ezra, and Sabine. I am blown away with this. And this is the game to make it happen, right? But here's the thing. Since you can only have 3, is this going to be your whole strike team? Is it going to be like Kanan, Ezra, and Sabine, then Hera, Zeb, and Chopper? Like, is that going to be like, is it going to be 3 and 3? Is that going to be your whole squad? Like, oh, okay. You know, I mean, put them in one big box too. Like, don't split them up. Nobody's buying just half of this. People will buy all of it. Put it in a deluxe big box. You can even charge double, whatever. Maybe you save $2 by buying the whole thing together. I don't know. But this, I mean, this is the way. This is everything, man. I loved Rebels so much. What an incredibly good show. Yeah. And the thing that's cool about this is you can mix and match too. You can throw Ahsoka in with the half, like even Ahsoka out of Era, right? I mean, I'm sure they'll do a Rebels version of Ahsoka, a Fulcrum Ahsoka at some point. You know, there's room for that. I think actually was probably even better than the Fulcrum Ahsoka from Rebels, since you have that season 7 Ahsoka with who is close in appearance to that one. Is I think you wait for the Ahsoka series to come out and do adult Ahsoka, you know, because you probably have room for like adult Ezra and other stuff like that. Oh man, this is just exciting. And I wonder if they're gonna have different heads for Kanan. Can you do blind Kanan? Because I think I want to do blind Kanan. You know, I really like blind Kanan. I mean, I liked sightseeing Kanan also. I wonder, like, in the shoulder pad, who's going to paint the little Vader scratch marks in the shoulder pad? Oh my gosh. Dude, this screen alone should have been the thing they led with for Shatterpoint, right? Like, in my opinion, it's just an opinion. But man, oh man, this is the thing. There was a moment when Star Wars Armada was announced, in between when Star Wars Armada announced and when it came out, that converted me. And it was a moment like this. I initially didn't want to get into Star Wars Armada because I was heavily invested in X-Wing. And nothing from what I had seen was enough of a grab for me to say, I don't know if I want to play 2 space games. But it was the day they had a convention appearance like this, and they previewed the Imperial Star Destroyer expansion. And I saw how massive it was and how beautiful and perfect it was. And I said, oh, okay, I got to play this game. I'm going all in on this game. And I have not regretted it since. This is that moment for me for this game. This is it. Like, and if all the other stuff wasn't, like seeing Luke and Lando and Leia and R2 serving drinks, if that wasn't enough, I'm like, oh my God, that was incredible. And there's so many other really good moments. Like the Inquisitor pack looks to die for. Vader looks incredible. You know, do I watch The Mandalorian? Oh my God. Yeah. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. All right, folks. And there's more. There's more. This one, actually, this was something they posted before they revealed Darth Vader and Luke. This, for some reason, this slide ended up at the end, and it should not have been. All right. Well, so that's basically it, folks. Let's go ahead and do a hashtag Armada for if you want to win this GR75 real quick. I'll take some Q&A also. But yes, do I watch The Mandalorian? Yeah, I absolutely watch The Mandalorian. Great show. The last episode was kind of short, but still very good. I don't want to get into spoilers, but we do have in our Discord we have a section for spoilers, and so you can go down there and you can talk about the latest episode of The Bad Batch or The Mandalorian and things like that. So very fun stuff. The Star Trek game, yes. If you follow me on social media on my Facebook, I recently shared Gale Force 9 has a new Star Trek game. Looks a lot like Imperial Assault. I should say it looks a little bit like Imperial Assault. Art style is different though. It's a Star Trek game. It's let me pull it up if I can. I think it's called Star Trek like Frontiers or something like that. And it's gonna be interesting to me. The art style is kind of cartoony. And so initially I've seen some negative feedback from people and they're like, oh, I don't like the art style. And it's called Star Trek Away Missions from Gale Force 9. It's a game I probably will talk about a little bit. I have a pretty good relationship with Gale Force 9, and honestly, lately they've sent me a lot of games to review. and I think I've expressed to them definitely have an interest on any Star Trek stuff that they do. Very much kind of bobbleheady, cartoony look to the miniatures. So it's the art style is different. That doesn't bother me as much. I'm interested in the gameplay as well. But it looks like it's going to be an expandable game. It's called Star Trek Away Missions Miniatures board game. The box set, the core set is called The Battle of Wolf 359. And it says Federation versus the Borg. You've got a Federation team. It looks like Riker, Data, Tasha Yar. I don't know if that's Tasha Yar or somebody else. And Worf. And you're a tech, because Tasha Yar wasn't at the Battle of Wolf 359. But then you got like 6 Borg in this core set. And on the article, it looks like you're getting some Imperial Assault style like game boards. And you're trying to move from square to square and do some of that sort of thing. So like that looks interesting. You know, you got some cards. You know, it's like 1 versus 1, but they have expansions for it where you can bring in other factions. So you've got a Romulan expansion with Sela, and then you have a Klingon expansion with Gowron, and they're all in a. It almost looks like he's got like Lursa and Baitor with him too, or something like that. Which they wouldn't team up with Gowron, but it might not be them. It's hard to tell exactly who's who. But like pretty cool stuff. Like again, I'm a Star Trek fan, and I also liked Imperial Assault. I think it'd be a fun game to play, and I'd love to check it out. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if it'll be the Imperial Assault replacement that you're hoping for, but it could. My guess is it might scratch that itch a little bit. So, any new Star Wars deck building news? No, I've played the Star Wars deck builder. I'm not a big fan of it. It feels more like a deck grower than a deck builder, because you can't buy from the opposing faction, so you can really buy a smaller selection of cards that come out. And, you know, out of the 6 cards that come out, you may only be able to buy like 3 or 4 of them. And out of those, you may not be able to afford them all. So you have this huge, like Star Realms, which is almost the same game. You have this huge space line of like, oh, what cards am I going to buy? How am I going to build my deck? And in the Star Wars deck builder, it's more like, you can only actually buy one of these 2. Or sometimes you can only buy 1. And so you're not really building a deck. You're just growing a deck. It's just bloating it over and over, you know. So I don't know. It didn't feel that way. Travis, was there any MCP news? There was. I didn't look as closely, but some more X-Men stuff. I think they showed Nightcrawler and Professor Xavier and who was the guy? The Shadow King, the Shadow Lord guy. But Professor X was the last, like the big reveal. He looks cool. And Nightcrawler looks cool. So there's, and I think there was a couple other things. There's some like Wakanda terrain set and things like that. I just looked through the MCP stuff very, very briefly, though. I know it'll be out there in more detail later on. Any Legion mentioned? You had to step away for a bit? Yeah, quite a bit. Oh, Bishop? I did not see Bishop, Lars. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't been buying as much MCP lately. I kind of stopped a while back. After Juggernaut came out, I picked up Juggernaut and some of the other stuff in that wave, and then I've kind of stopped. So it'll be tough. Crosshair as an Imperial commander. He might be dual faction. I can see Crosshair being dual faction. We don't know what's going to happen with Crosshair, though. We don't know where his story ends. I guess we're going to get another interesting step in that story on Wednesday. So that's going to be very, very interesting. All right, let me do our last Armada giveaway. This one is going to be Joseph Moberly. Congrats, Joseph Moberly. You're winning the GR75. Make sure you shoot me an email at mailcrabbok@gmail.com and tell me what you've won. Remind me so I don't send you the wrong thing. And we'll get your, give me your full mailing address and everything and all of that good stuff. And we'll get you squared away. If you did not win any of the giveaways, I do giveaways all the time. We're doing a massive new big giveaway for a Shatterpoint core set in the form of a $165 Amazon gift card. If you want to have a chance to enter to win that, you just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. Again, big thanks to today's sponsor, Luxury Playstyle. Full metal tokens. Head over to luxuryplaystyle.com. Check out those awesome tokens. Compatible with Legion, compatible with X-Wing, Magic the Gathering, more games all the time too, hopefully. Hopefully maybe Armada and Shatterpoint someday too. But yeah, use code Crabbok VIP. You're going to save 15% off your purchase. I think that is going to... Did they say something about Armada? I'm going to run you through the Armada stuff real quick. X-Wing's got a lot of new reprints, some new sets coming. Again, you can rewatch all of it. We're going to talk about it all some more. Armada has, new store championship tournament kits coming, lots of new promos for Armada, and Rapid Reinforcements 2 coming this summer with some previews for it. Legion has, Ahsoka preview, some Ewoks. We've got Chewie, we've got the Geonosians, we've got Inquisitors, store championships also. Clone Force 99, Shatterpoint has the awesome Night Sisters, Dathomir, Mace Windu, and Wolfpack, Bounty Hunters, Plo Koon, the Queen's Guard, Amidala, and her handmaidens, and they're jumping into the future now also with Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, Return of the Jedi themed stuff with Ewoks and Inquisitors, and then even more promo stuff, or not promo, but like stuff that's in development still. Iden Versio and Inferno Squad, a new Han Solo, probably with Chewbacca, and maybe even like a Solo from Solo, a Star Wars story. I wouldn't be surprised if we see like Kira maybe there. That would be kind of cool too. There's options that they could do there. We've got Mando, and then of course the Star Wars Rebels Ghost Crew, which will be the coolest thing ever. So that's the super quick rundown of all the stuff. I'll be talking more about this all throughout the week. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I'm going to go ahead and start to wrap things up. I really appreciate you guys sticking it out with me. This is so much stuff. I'm glad I was able to talk to you about it. So much news, guys. And I got to process it. I'm going to go take a nap now. I'll see you guys later. I want to thank my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing. You're out of this world. And I couldn't do this without you. So may the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. And hasta la vista.